Hi everybody, welcome to Mike's Garage. Listen, I wanted to shout out to a couple subscribers who had a comment about one of my videos about the drones and the guerrilla warfare and what a big part drones are playing in it. Actually, it's going to turn into a guerrilla warfare just involving drones, okay? One of the things that they used to have, or they still have, is the anti-aircraft. When you had an anti-aircraft system set up, you would lock onto an incoming aircraft with the radar and lock on, okay? Now, most of the airplanes, the lead jets and the lead helicopters that would go into a situation, they had rockets that were attracted to the tracking device of an anti-aircraft system. So if the anti-aircraft system went up, you let your rocket go, it couldn't be jammed because it was going to the source of the radar lock, and it would blow up the device. And usually they would have the tracking device in one place and the rockets, the anti-aircraft rockets, hundreds of feet away. You didn't put everything in one spot, okay? You tried to separate it. Some of the mobile devices, it's all one thing. So the rocket would go to the tracking device to explode and take that out, and then the rest of the anti-aircraft rockets wouldn't be of any effect to the incoming airplanes. So that was the lead airplanes, what they used to do. I know they always had, when we were in Vietnam, the Huey helicopters would go out first, and they would be at a higher altitude, and the Cobra helicopters would be at a lower altitude coming in low behind it, and they would watch for any kind of weapons fire going towards the Hueys, and they would take those spots out. So it gives your spot away with tracer rounds, smoke from the ammo from the small weapons fire, and the attack helicopters, the Cobras, would take out those positions. Pretty much the same thing they do today, and it's even possible to do that with the drones. You have all kinds of drones. You have the high altitude drones that can spot everything through heat, through sensors, just the visual effect of what's going on the ground, sensing for movement. They can fly for hours. They don't have to be refueled. They're very high altitude. You have the smaller ones that will go around, the drones with the munitions on them. Boy, I lost it right now. I can't think of what they're called. But the drones, the attack drones, they have missiles on them. They can shoot 3 or 4 different missiles and then return to the base to get reloaded and refueled, okay? Now they have the disposable drones, okay? The Switchblade drones. And there's a couple different ones that are made in England. There's some made in Turkey. A very effective device. The one I'm going to talk about is called it the Kamikaze Drone because it's a one-way drone. They come, one's 20 pounds and one's 50 pounds. And it launches like a mortar. It has a mortar tube. And the drone pops out of that. It has an electric motor, so it doesn't give you away your position, because the other drones, they fire out with a rocket and it leaves a trail of smoke so the enemy can see where the rocket came from. With the Switchblade drone, it's an electric motor. It pops out. Now there's a 20-pound one. It'll fly about 25 miles. It'll stay airborne for 15, 20 minutes. And it has a camera on it, and you have a small little video game device that you're looking into the screen, and you're looking for the target. When you see the target, you deliberately crash the drone into the target and it explodes on contact. So that's why they call it the Kamikaze Drone, the Switchblade Drone. It's a one-way drone. You fly it out and you dive bomb it into the target. You can hit it straight on, low altitude. You can go up and come down on top of the target, which they recommend you do for tanks. The 50-pound Switchblade drones are very effective against tanks, but you do have to drop in from the top, okay? Any kind of a position where you're in a covered position, you want to use the 20-pound drone and fly it right through the front door, right into where they're hiding, okay? So it's very effective either way. But they can be affected by jamming systems. And they've even captured a couple of the Russian jamming systems where they jam frequencies so you can't communicate with your video game controller to the drone. So they actually have drones that you launch them, and they will go up, and they are attracted to jamming signals. So if the drone goes up and it cruises, and there's a jamming signal sent to the drone, it turns and it goes right to the jamming signal where it's coming from to take it out. So that's one of the first couple of drones they send up to try and attract droning signals, the jamming signals that would affect the performance of a drone. But those drones aren't affected by that. They're pre-programmed to turn and fly directly into the jamming signal. So it takes those out, and the rest of the drones are effective. They're usually local, so if you take one or two out, you have control of the airspace after that. So there are smaller ones just for locating the enemy. If you locate the enemy, you can plot the coordinates and use the MLAW. You can use the Stinger missiles, and you can use all the Javelin missiles, all those with the coordinates that you get from just the observation drones, okay? It was the Predator drone. That's the one I couldn't think of. Thanks for that, thanks. But the Predator drone is the one that has the refuelable, reusable, and you drop your munitions from the drone, you return to base and get it refueled. And they're usually pretty big drones, okay? These are other small 20-pound drones, one-way drones. Just, it changes the whole warfare kind of a thing. So we'll see how that works out. I hope that's interesting. But the technology, and you know what? They're not telling us about everything that they have. They have things that are just amazing, that they can fly around and do all kinds of crazy things. So let's keep an eye on it. I hope they stop this silly war going on between Ukraine and Russia. I hope we don't get sucked into it. It's just a terrible thing every day, okay? Could use more subscribers. Thanks, everybody. Give me your comments. I want to hear your point of view. What's your view on this? Let's bring up some other things. You know, something different, bring it on. Let's put it out on the table here. Thanks for watching Mike's Garage. Do something nice for a stranger. Bye now.